side. Yeah, it was on the other side of the road. You have to press and hold it. Anyways, where it was, took us up to the Mount Olympus Park. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting out of your face. So then you can see.
Oh, right. How'd you guys like that too?
Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome aboard the Amphibious Duck, Omaha Beach. My name is Brent, and I will be your captain on today's 8.5-mile journey. Half on land, half on water, and if we're lucky, maybe even a little bit in the air. Today's tour will consist of 1/3 Wisconsin state facts, 1/3 Native American folklore, and 1/3 what I like to call food for thought. Yeah, just a little bit of grade A baloney. The first point of interest on today's tour are these hand-carved granite statues on either side of the trail. They once stood tall on top of the Chicago Board of Trade building until it was redecorated by a stick of dynamite. Miss Helen Robb later purchased these statues to decorate the grounds of her home, Don Manor, which we'll see a little bit later on in the tour. So keep Don Manor and Miss Helen Robb in the back of your mind. Or I guess what I'm really trying to say is, don't take these statues for granite. Can everyone hear me okay back there? Okay, that's a little weak, but we'll get there. Just a little information about the duck you're riding in today. It was built back in 1942 by the GMC Corporation to be used in World War II and later in the Korean conflict. It has a 100 horsepower GM engine, 10 speeds forward, 2 in reverse, high and low range. It's 8 feet 2 inches wide, 9 feet tall, 32 feet long, weighing in at a slim and slender 7.5 tons. She goes about 5 to 6 knots on water, 50 on land, and just the other day, we got her up to about 200, right off the edge of this cliff. Hold on. Everyone back there? Everyone's there? Okay. If you are going to fall off the duck for any reason, it's very hard to do. Be sure to bring the person sitting next to you. If you're at the duck, we don't stop for just one. Happen to see any wildlife like the deer right on the left here, be sure to shout it out. I'm going to do the best I can to slow down and get everyone a better look. Well, if for some reason we don't see any more wildlife on the tour, I'll do the next best thing and hand the mic over to my co-pilot, and she can tell us about her wildlife. Spotted some more wildlife off in the tall grass right over there. Right next to the duck. The baby stop. Pretty cute, isn't he? No, because there are none, but I think we'll be okay without them. Types of ferns, such as the green fern, the red fern, orange fern, fur fern, black fern, peanut 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 fern, and my favorite fern. Over on the left is the invisible fern. You may notice a slight decrease in temperature down here in Ferndale. That's for two reasons. The first reason are the canopy of trees blocking out the sunlight. And the second reason are the sandstone rocks off on the side. They lock in moisture, acting as a natural air conditioner, making it anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees cooler than the outside world.
Oh, Sophie, what's going to happen?
And we've made it to the Pacific Ocean. Might get a little bumpy going into the water today, so with one hand, brace yourself on the seat in front of you, and boat in the Wisconsin River that just disengaged the wheels. So if you look off to either side, you'll slowly see them sinking to the bottom. And the scuba divers will pick those up and meet us down by Stella Creek. The Wisconsin River is one of the hardest working rivers in America, with 27 hydroelectric dams spanning 430 miles diagonally across the state of Wisconsin, and then draining into the Mississippi River down at Prairie du Chien. Coming up on the left is our second rock formation, our first rock formation of the day. Big Rock in Tennessee. Back in the 1800s, there was this traveling preacher that would come out here and preach to all the Native Americans as they float by in their birch bark canoes. One day he noticed that all the Native Americans had fallen fast asleep. So to liven things up a little bit, he went into town and bought a baby grand piano. He was out here playing it on the top of Pulpit Rock and everything was going good, until a huge thunderstorm came rolling through. Lightning struck Pulpit Rock right down the middle, splitting it in half, sending the preacher going all the way across the river to the tree over there, the green one, and then sending the baby grand piano falling off the side where it still lies today. Got the leg up against Pulpit Rock and the keys facing the heaven. Anyone believe that story? Yeah. So would you believe me if I said I could still get some music out of that bad boy? Maybe some hard rock by the Rolling Stones? Hawks Beach. You follow the shoreline all the way to the left on the far point. About 40 feet up in the sky, you'll see a silhouette of a hawk. All the rocks up there that are kind of pointed out to the left. The very top rock with the pointed tip is the hawk's upper beak. The piece of rock that kind of curves up is the hawk's lower beak. And a little piece of rock right in the middle is the hawk's tongue. Right out in front of us there. Ever see it? If you stretch your imagination a little farther, on the upper beak there's a slit in the rock. That'll be the eye, and a piece of rock coming out towards us is the shoulder and wing as it soars across the Wisconsin River. Only took me about 6 or 7 months to carve that out. But it did bring a lot of fame to the area, as it was on the cover of Life magazine back in 1962. Along either side of the river, you'll see these big sandstone rocks. They're a very rare type of sandstone known as Potsdam sandstone. Found in only 4 places in the world. Potsdam, Germany, where it originally gets its name, Zurich, Switzerland, upstate New York, and then along this 10.5-mile stretch of the Wisconsin River. It's a very brittle sandstone, meaning if I were to give you all a piece, you'd easily be able to crumble it in your hand. And it's also a very porous sandstone, meaning it locks in a lot of moisture, making it easy for all the trees and vegetation that you see to grow out of it with little to no topsoil at all. rainfall, which caused Lake Delton, just on the other side of County Highway A, to rise 51.5 inches. With that water having nowhere to go, slowly started flowing over the highway and into the river. About 3.5 to 4 hours had passed by, and all 267 acres of Lake Delton have reached completely through County Highway A and flowed into the river, taking along with it 4 lakeside homes, many trees, and fish. There were about 400 million gallons of water that drained out of the lake that day, rising the Wisconsin River just a little bit. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see how high the water rose that day, right where the tree line meets the sand. I'll have some pictures of before and after the breach later in today's tour. Along this right-hand side would be the city of Newport. Back then, Newport had a population of around 2,000, making it one of the larger cities in Wisconsin. Byron Kilbourne was the president of the Milwaukee Lacrosse Railroad Company at the time, and he was planning on building a railroad bridge connecting these 2 points of land. But when the people of Newport heard about this, they quickly purchased up all the land in hopes to sell it back to Mr. Kilbourne for jacked up prices. Kilbourne caught wind of this and realized he could no longer afford the land because it was far too expensive. So he started looking for other places to build his bridge. And he found a great spot about 1.5 miles upstream, where he built his railroad bridge and then founded the city of Kilbourne. Has anyone been to Kilbourne City? No? What I bet you have, because later in the 1900s, Kilbourne City was renamed the Wisconsin Dells. You'll notice that the city of Newport is no longer along the right-hand side, because 100 years ago there was a huge forest fire that struck through this area, taking out anything that was remaining in the city of Newport, except for one house, Don Manor, which we'll see in about 10 minutes. Of the day will be made in Dell Creek. It does get a little bit bumpy from time to time because of the sandbars, so just be prepared for that. to be on the left-hand side is the W.J. Newman Dam, built back in 1927 to hold back the rushing waters of Del Creek and create artificial Lake Delton. Despite that flooding back in 2008, this dam did not break. All the water just ended up flowing right over it and around the side. So to prevent that from ever happening again, the city of Lake Delton built a $1.5 million 80-foot spillway just up on the right-hand side. president, Mr. Abraham Lincoln. He even said that Lincoln did spend a few nights here in Don Manor. After Vanderpool passed away, this house went through a series of many different owners until it landed in the hands of Miss Helen Robb. Helen Robb was an avid world traveler, traveling the world as many as 15 different times, collecting priceless paintings and antiques to decorate the inside of her house, all of which are still in the house today, making it worth about $1.5 million. I can't show you the inside of the house today because it's still privately owned by the Robb family, but I do have some pictures that I'll show you later in the tour of the inside of the house and Miss Helen Robb herself. Right outside the front door, you'll see more of those granite statues that we saw right at the beginning of the tour. And over on the right is where Lake Delvin reached through County Highway A and into the Wisconsin River, where we were just at. Lucky for me, just missing my house over on the left-hand side. June 9th, 2009. Yep. Yep.
Oh, shoot.
Lower Dells Scenic Park, home to many different wildlife, such as the white-tailed deer, the fox, the raccoon, the squirrel, the skunk, the turkey, Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, lions, and bears. Oh my. If you do happen to see any lions or bears on the tour, be sure to shout them out, so I can do my best to swerve and run them over. Probably thinking, Brent, why would you want to do that? Well, the reason is, here at the original Wisconsin Ducks, we're all die-hard Green Bay Packers fans. Another deer on the right-hand side over there. I don't think we'll be seeing any lions or bears on the tour today, because this morning I came out here before work and I painted a white goal line around the whole park. And we all know that the lions and bears never cross those. Happen to have any Chicago Bears fans on the tour, do we?
No.
Yes.
Not a single one?
No.
Yes.
You're a Bears fan.
I won't admit this.
Probably where you should get out and walk. I'll be nice. You're a little bit bigger than me, so we'll keep moving on.
Don't need to run them over. Just leave them alone. He's fun.
Just the other day, I was strolling through the park. Over on the left-hand side by the stump over there, I saw a baby bear. I went up to that baby bear, and I saw that he was crying. So I said, "Baby bear, why are you crying?" And he told me that all the big bears have been beating up on him recently. So being the smart guy that I am, I gave the baby bear just a little bit of advice. And I said, "Baby bear, why don't you just move down to Chicago? Those bears don't beat anyone down there." I'll have to come up on Roller Coaster Hill. at the docks. Have just reached last look point. Get this name for two reasons. The first reason is that this is the last good look you'll get of the Wisconsin River. All the way down there on the left is where we entered today at Echo Point. And then the second reason to get this name is because right in front of us is Suicide Hill. Uh-oh. So if you're afraid of heights like me, don't be afraid to cover your eyes. Might need some help. I don't remember if it was a right or a left. Left? Okay, I'll trust you. And over on the right, you'll see the 40-foot drop. Why Suicide Hill gets its name, but not to worry, because here at the Ducks we're all about your safety. That's why this morning I came out here before work, and I built this steel mesh barricade on the right to protect us. So you think if Brent has just chicken wire, what's it gonna do? And I don't know. But Hank down the hardware store assured me if it can stop a chicken, it can most certainly stop a duck. On the left-hand side of Lake of the Dells, built back in 1943 to breed the Wisconsin state bird, the mosquito. Yeah. So we collect all those mosquitoes and we put them in this brown box on the left. Once it fills up, ship them off to our friendly neighbors, Minnesota. Just like what we did with Brett Favre and Greg Jennings. We made our way onto the lowland trail, said to be the most beautiful part on today's tour. So I'm going to do you all a favor, shut off my mic and let nature do all the talking. That this duck is 8 feet 2 inches wide. Redbird Gorge at its narrowest is 8 feet 6 inches wide. So do the math, and that's only about 4 inches to make it through. Blackhawk Gorge, getting its name from a famous Native American chief, Chief Gorge, who had a boy named Boy Gorge, who had a little monkey named Curious Gorge. I don't remember his wife's name, but I do recall that she was quite gorgeous. Now making our way up Turkey Hollow, what us duck drivers like to call Lover's Lane. So if you are next to that special someone, don't be afraid to get just a little bit closer and give them a big, whopping high five. You'll see some dogwood trees. They get their name because of their bark. And over on the left, a tree with the crooked branches. What we like to call our government tree. This is the Helen Robb Tree Plantation. If you remember back in that forest fire that took out the city of Newport, it also took out this area right here. So Miss Helen Robb came out here and planted all these trees one by one in the most natural way possible in a perfectly straight road.
Actually gives it to us as it is.
sheds. That's where our ducks party all summer and hibernate all winter. The tan shed right in the middle is home to our 7 year-round mechanics that we like to call our quack doctors. Just like every doctor, it's hard to save every single patient. So on the left will be the duck graveyard. May they rust in pieces. On behalf of myself and the original Wisconsin Ducks, I'd love to thank you for coming out and riding my tour today. If you enjoyed my tour, my name is Brent, and if you didn't enjoy my tour, well, I guess we'll say my name is Anthony. I'll be the person off the duck today just to get it secure, and I'll send you all on your way. Thanks again.